He was a high-ranking and powerful capital city. The prince had no idea that a secret crush was lurking in the corner. He had been a nobody for many years. Chen went to great lengths to squeeze into the crown prince's circle. It wasn't that he hoped Zhao Xinge liked him. He had his own set of principles. The bottom line is to avoid alarm and follow the sound pattern, as long as it can make the ring open smoothly. In the morning and evening, I drove slowly with a bright, not-so-grand Volkswagen on the airport overpass. The weather was exceptionally harsh at this time. T2 terminal repeats playback, reporting the weather. I barely slept last night and was not in good condition. He lit a straight cigarette to refresh himself. Suddenly, the phone call came from Zhuo Zhishuan. He asked Chen what was going on with preparations for receiving wind power. Zhao Xinge was about to return to China. Chen said, Bay Area deserted mountain villas. I'll send you photos of the restaurant. Zhuo Zhishuan was quite satisfied after seeing it. Truly worthy of Chen, but it just puts my mind at ease. After finishing the main topic, Zhuo Zhishuan started gossiping, hearing that he had returned together with Miss Su. Chen stared intently at that place. A loud voice came from the third outlet, quickly extinguishing the smoke. Then he corrected his friend, saying no. He came back on his own. Zhuo Zhishuan instantly lost his composure, pushed the woman away from his arms, and sat up. You want to follow someone? Chen kept her eyes fixed ahead, until the other party got into a Feismai. Only then did he respond distractedly, saying it wasn't following, but picking him up at the airport. Zhuo Zhishuan even squeezed for him, sweating without fear, Chen was neither too far nor too close. He followed behind Macbach in silence for a moment. I'm not at ease. The weather is so bad. Moreover, Zhao Xinge's recent overseas acquisition methods have caused a major downfall. Zhuo Zhishuan was so angry, he was almost laughing. Lund worries you. You should still worry about yourself. Chen smiled cheerfully and said nothing. For more than 10 years, his old classmate, Zhuo Zhishuan, followed him en route for the point treatment. Chen has always acted with proper judgment, but suddenly she is foolish. That must be a serious matter, so I couldn't help but ask him how he knew where he had come from. Chen replied vaguely, I have my way. I'll stand at the center of attention, adults. Zhuo Zhishuan didn't say much, just objectively told him that you were putting out a bit, even. I might not be able to catch it either. You. The morning and evening voices are gentle, calm, and unmoving. What did I mean to do? That was actually the truth. He really can't do anything. He only wanted to be like before. Just one distant glance at it. Even just that one glance was enough. A few days later, the Bay Area Hillside Villa restaurant held a seemingly glamorous dinner. In reality, it's like the night sea outside the window. The waves are always endless. Shadows flow deep into the darkness. Morning and evening had already arrived, standing in a very inconspicuous corner with the manager. Silently, he quietly reminded the tonight's dishes and drinks, lowering the temperature. Even the orchids under the crystal chandelier grind their wine. No need to wake up for about 7 minutes. Zhao Xinge spoke not too soon, not too late. As soon as they saw his subordinates, they began to tremble and ponder. Everyone knows he is low-key. Today, I finally got to see him in person. Not long ago, he acquired several companies abroad. Sitting next to him was Tan Yuming. Tan Yuming, seeing how many times his chopsticks had grown so much. It's been a long time since we met. He then asked if his food was suitable. Zhao Xinge, a Chinese stomach eating too much garbage in Yangba. Eating local dishes feels like a good discount. His calm hand was Tan Yuming's side, with Zhuo Zhishuan beside him. Looking at Zhao Xinge, feeling pretty good, he looked toward the shadow of the southern stone sitting in the corner. It meant he should hurry inside as well. Don't work hard. He spent the whole night making prices for others. Chen smiled gently at Zhishuan to comfort him, but didn't move. Finally, he lowered his head. He looked back and hid himself, continuing to listen to the people at the table for the party, Feng Yun, and the Taiping Peak Rebellion. At this moment, the manager skillfully walked over to Chen side and apologized very apologetically. Mr. Chen, I'm sorry. The kitchen said that the batch of mangoes from the Vietnamese border was made up of Yangji. Sweet Dew and fabric shop classes couldn't make it. So after the meal, the dessert was replaced with red bean soup. Is that okay? Although these are all very typical Vietnamese desserts. But after thinking it over, he decided to have the manager buy some old herbal tea from a nearby alley. Lei Gongjin and Sheng Di Shui were already nearing the end of the banquet. Zhuo Zhishuan still hadn't seen it. Chen showed signs of movement. Yao Jin looked frustrated and disappointed. Sometimes she thought Chen was very smart. Sometimes he's quite foolish, busy behind the scenes, handling every detail. Arrange a large kitchen for the arrangement. It's better to stand in front of others and say your horse. And finally personally hold your glass. She walked over to him and patted him on the shoulder. Chen asked him what he was doing. Zhuo Zhishuan said, if you don't go to greet me, I'll just stand and won't leave. The people nearby all looked over. Zhuo Zhishuan refused to leave, and Chen was helpless against them. so he had no choice but to take it as well. Zhu got up and followed him. Chen thought the distance was as vast as the Milky Way. Actually, it only takes a few short steps to get there. When Zhu Zhishuan led him over, Zhao Xingge was still talking to Shenzhou. After they finished talking, Zhu Zhishuan then introduced him to the promotion. This is Chen Wan. On this night, Zhao Xingge had heard too many times like this, seen his own uniform beautiful times, a distinguished family background, and a sincere and respectful smile. He looked up with concern and glanced at Chen Wan. Mr. Li raised his glass. Having exchanged glances, his calm gaze didn't linger for a moment. She turned her head, and Chen Wan wasn't surprised. He also raised his high cup and greeted Gong Qian politely. Mr. Zhao said no more. He couldn't even say a single extra line in his self-introduction, especially disappointed. After all, Zhao Xingge had met too many people. Chen Wan is neither the most beautiful nor the most special. Hit rock bottom to support his heart. It's rare to find a close conversation enthusiast. Just like that, Chen Wan made him angry. Zhu Zhishuan was once again frustrated at his lack of progress. A person who always skillfully adapts and is skilled in martial arts. When it came to real combat, there was not a single effective social interaction. Zhao Xingge glanced over. Tan Yuming, who was waving to Chen Lang, understood immediately. I know what you want to say. He's fine. Zhao Xingge leaned against his back speechlessly, ignoring him. Shin Zengyan, who was always so shocked and hard to speak, quietly replied at this moment. It's nothing. Although his tone was emotionless, Zhao Xingge didn't care anymore. Take a sip of tea to soothe your throat. I didn't say anything. Tan Yuming just looked speechlessly at the other side. All these years, talking to Zhao Xingge never made him angry. It was truly a disaster. After the event ended, Chen Wan arranged for a shuttle bus to the door in advance. By now, the room outside was already overflowing. Chen Wan came out holding an umbrella. The sea breeze brushed against his shirt, accentuating his slender waist and straight shoulders. It was like a feeling in the night rain. At that moment, someone came out from behind him. He didn't need to look back. Just his nose and ears were enough to recognize who it was. Zhao Xingge didn't see him, but stopped and crossed over with one arm tucked around his coat, holding a phone in one hand while making a call, his voice deep and deep. At this point, Tan Yuming couldn't get out of it. Hearing his instructions, Chen Wan went straight to hold the measuring tape. Then he climbed onto Chen Wan's shoulder. We walked together. Chen Wan smiled gently. Next time, there will be many guests still on the altar. Tan Yuming stood straight as he said nothing. Chen Wan stood straight until they saw the black sedan disappear into the dark clouds. Only then did he put away the sausage pancake black powder and step back into the vineyard. A few days later, Chen Wan was summoned back to the old residence. When he arrived, he saw a huge crowd of people. There were also 2 tables for bridge games. It was bustling with activity. He glanced over. He didn't see Song Xingyao. Just as he was about to go upstairs to find someone, Chun Bing Xin scolded him. Not knowing if Chun would stop walking, he calmly nodded to the person below, then said in Cantonese, "Good morning." At this moment, only those sitting at the table saw Chun Wan muttering a few harsh words. The illegitimate child of the 4th branch has always been the least invisible. Chun Wan ignored her. He went straight to the 3rd floor and knocked on the door. From inside came a faint, shrill sound. Soon a baby head poked out from inside. Chun Wan, accustomed to it, let out a soft buzzing sound. Walked in the 9th generation, the wooden floor was repaired for 9 generations, and the branches sprouted. The sound was loud, and as soon as he entered the door, he saw several empty jewel boxes spread out on the dressing table. Chun Wan lowered her head slightly and looked at the pile of pigs. "I just brought you a set of days last week, and I transfer money to you every month. Didn't you say you wouldn't go anymore?" Song Qingliao picked up a cigarette and put it in his mouth. He started whipping right in front of the golden Buddha statue. Chao's guests and guests. Is it my dividend? Liao Lu is again showing 1,000 pieces at the table, donating me a set of treasures. I was so angry I wanted to kill someone. They quietly endure things like me every day. Song Qingliao looked very frustrated. Resting her elbow on the dressing table, Chun Wan walked over. "Help her extinguish you. Shall we move out? She doesn't want to live with me. They can also help you find Fuji or a villa for you. I'll figure something out her side." This wasn't the first time Chun Wan had mentioned it to him like this. Song Qingliao became emotional, his gaze reproachful but not tense. "Why should I leave? I won't. If I didn't get our things, I die here." "All right." Chen Wan was silent for a moment, then calmly told him, "You die here. He won't sting you anymore." Song Qingliao looked unwilling. "Then let's do it ourselves. Mom and Dad only have you left. You have to fight for your strength." Chen Wan was stunned. He opened his mouth to look at the woman who never grew up. No words were spoken. After a long silence, Chun Wan finally softened. He held Song Qingliao's hand. "How much do you want? I can earn a fortune from Song Qingliao." His voice became soft, but it was very easy. How much can you earn? Suddenly, he mysteriously leaned in close to Chenwan. Baby, recently, Xie Jiajin has been asking me out, and Chenwan paused, immediately earnestly advising him not to go. He has family matters, but he doesn't truly pursue you. Recently, they've become more sensible and have switched their minds. He just wants to get you the hang of it and increase your bone-eating habits. That's all. Song Qingmiao seemed to be proving his pride in being young as a young lady. Honestly, I just want to have a meal with her. See if she has any ways to help you get through it. Rong Xingqian and Wan felt that would be even more unchanged. I'm not entirely honored. I have my own things to do. Song Qingmiao was a bit annoyed. What do you want? Cheng spent his days neglecting proper conduct. The night was not tight. Liao Jihe, just a couple of days ago, was half-hearted as the general manager's cheerful party. How many years have you graduated? He hadn't even stepped through the branch office's door. Mom worries so much about you at night, thinking you can't sleep well. Chenwan helped her tidy up and put away the messy jewelry. Opening the window again with anger, you don't need to worry about me. Living your own life is the most important thing. At that moment, someone knocked on the door, and Mrs. Hu invited her to have dinner. Song Qingmiao and Chenwan both gave their all to their careers. Chen Wanshun said it was good to come back. When the two of them went downstairs, everyone has already started moving positions. Song Qingmiao linked arms with Chen Wan and sat down in an inconspicuous seat. The red spoke eloquently in front of Chen Bingxi. Honored to be branded. Every brand is showcasing its skills and grand ambitions. Song Qingmiao looked displeased. He took a sip of bird's nest. Then he quietly said to the enemy, "When you see me drinking bird's nest, you avoid everything." Chen Wan calmly ate the food in front of her. At this moment, the eldest branch is hard to find, and if the dishes don't suit your taste. Why did Awan lose weight? So many people looked over. Morning and evening, I wipe my hands with a napkin. There's no heat. I can't eat too much. Chao Ji held it in secret. Chao Zhizhuang joked casually, but Awan was used to only noodles. How could I care about any of that? A few days ago, I heard from friends that she ran into Chen Wan in Central. He was completely fine. Chen Bingxin interrogated Chen Wan. What are you doing in Central? Chen Wan calmly lied and went to help Zhu Ji with the Schwamble car. Second Uncle Liao Quan laughed and said, "Then Awan needs to hold tightly to this rope. Just climbing up by yourself isn't enough." Chun Jiahao, you can stand even more steadily. Isn't that the case? Chen Wan said nothing, but Chen Bingxin spoke first. What hope could he possibly have from others? He was just being used as an errand boy. How could she really give him face? Although her words were harsh, Chen Wan didn't feel embarrassed. He nodded in agreement. You're talking about me, a smasher and errand runner. And what could they say? A grueling meal. The matter is finally settled. Chen Wan went and listened intently. He never lights up or makes phone calls in the old house. He could only stand by the window and take a look. He watched it bored for a while. A chorus of children rang out nearby. He walked up to a girl with an upward tilt. The girl was pressed against the wall in a strange and stiff posture. Chen Wan surrounded the boy who he planned to have around like flies, then squatted down and asked what you were doing. The girl should be of mixed race and light color. A colleague lent it to Chen Wan, who was watching her. Chen Wan gave her a very mild threat. The girl spoke in English. "I'm fine." Chen Wan glanced over. She had no obvious injuries. He stood next to her to learn. She was just as strong, standing firm. The big one is this boring way to pass the time. He inexplicably received the girl's happiness. He reached out his hand to Chen Wan. "Hello, I'm Judy." Chen Wan also reached out her hand. He shook his hand solemnly. "Hello, Chen Wan." The Han girl couldn't understand Chinese, so Chen Wan added, or maybe kids girls seem more interested in her Chinese name. But the pronunciation isn't very hard. Chen Wan. Which Wan Wan? That one is Wan Wan. Chen Wan touched her pockets. He pulled out a very simple signature item. Fiona pointed at the words on it and looked at it carefully for a while. Then he accepted Chen Wan, felt thirsty, and went to the altar to fetch a mountain master. He asked Fiona if she wanted to eat Fiona. After hesitating for a moment, she said sorry. Chen Wan, I can't eat it. Chen Wan found his formal, serious attitude amusing. Fiona said awkwardly, my skirt is broken. I couldn't leave this wall, morning and evening. Only then did they notice the scissors damage to the hem of her skirt. She put away the sleeve. Hurry and take off your coat. Let her tie it around her waist to shield her for a while. Fiona said, thank you. Chen Wan asked her if she wanted to tell your mother. Fiona shook her head, put on her coat, and started moving, much more at ease. After eating a mangosteen, Chen Wan looked at the dog man and asked if she wanted to eat another one. Pineapple or melon? Fiona poked her head out and said, cut the melons morning and evening. Suddenly, a hand slapped his sword behind him. Chen Wan reacted swiftly, dodging and turning toward the tip of the blade, aiming at the newcomer. The person hurriedly moved his hand away. Raising the city wall, he soared majestically, laughing with an extremely ugly smile. "Oh, it's me." Chen-Wan stepped forward half a step to block the throwing knife. Didn't let go. He waved a few drums in the air. "So what if it were you?" Chen-Wan. He just looked like he had no temper. Not everyone can step on him. Liao Quan was just ungrateful for his good deeds. He insisted on coming here to test the waters. "You," when Chen-Wan pointed the knife at her. Only then did he realize that the person before him had been through the wind, and he would never forget her. 9-year-old Chen-Wan was just brought back from the main hall. Liao Quan locked her in her room. Liao Quan touched the child's foot and took off his white socks. Unexpectedly, Chen-Wan tightened her ring in one moment. Almost immediately, he turned around and stomped his methods. Liao Quan cried out in pain and deleted it, while Chen-Wan slapped her hair. Chen-Wan was young, but decisive in her actions. Without hesitation, he directly took scissors from the desk to cut her finger. She was never a girl without abs or strength. She was a child who illegally lived in the outer ring hall building without anyone to supervise her. It's a land of survival of the fittest, where vicious dogs have never been tamed. His whole body was covered in jabbed fists, his hands soaked and drenched. Blood gushed down the hallway. Hearing the agonizing screams, Chen-Wan felt as if she could pierce through someone's palm. He also had to stab his eyes and face. At this moment, a huge commotion was stirred up. The doctor came to the home to examine the injury. Liao Lu from the second branch insisted that Chun Bingxing give his brother justice to Liao Quan. But their family is unique. Chun Bing was enraged. Chen-Wan was like a protective master, lawless and unyielding. The ungrateful Neza, who disciplined Neza, was never tamed. He ordered the family doctor to forcibly give Chen-Wan a round of safety treatments. A diagnosis was issued, and her mental illness pushed her to Xiaolan Mountain. Little Lazy Mountain was closed in Haishi's asylum, and all the illnesses were of special status. Female. Chen-Wan spent 3 years there starting at the age of 9. Chen-Wan sheathed her knife, warning to leave the dog. "You know I'm barefoot, so I'm not afraid of wearing shoes." Thinking of ideas and doing what they could, Liao Quan fearfully made a surrender gesture. In the past, he couldn't escape the benefits of Chen-Wan. Now, he couldn't just look at Chen-Wan's beautiful and handsome profile with reluctance. Although his enchanting gentleness attracts people, even when he's quiet. But he knew it wasn't the right time, so he could only slink away. Chen-Wandi gave Fei Wang a slice of muskmelon, asked if he was scared by Fei Wang, watching him gossip uncontrollably. "Chen-Wan, you are a gentle gentleman. Only your eyes glance left and right into the fruit basket." He felt Chen-Wan was like a mountain master and sincerely said, like Themenov steamboats. Chen-Wan didn't really understand the children's wonderful imagination of footprints, so she could only smile. After Chen-Wanru held the nail on Fiena's head, seeing this person walk to a place with more adults, Fiena trusted him and obediently nodded. According to Feng Shui masters, only after the harm was done would the ghost be sent away. The rest spent the night at the Chen residence. Only Chen-Wan braved the rain to drive, on the flat ground in front of the security booth. No one knows who threw it away. A rusty dog leash. Chen-Wan stepped over nimbly, her gaze straight ahead, her heart calm as still water. He was no longer the kid who was toyed with by a dog chain. Chiwu. After getting in the car, Chen-Wan lit a cigarette. After 2 deep breaths, I finally felt oxygen rushing into my lungs. It relieved the suffocating feeling of drowning in heavy rain and darkness. Hands in the darkness. I randomly reached for the radio switch. Twisting it open makes some sounds. TBY Zhoming Keystone Home looks glamorous. In reality, it was Karaya's passion and cruelty that could easily steal the rich man's hands. Ordinary people often envied the Chi-Chi on the road when they were young. At least the Liberty Center console vibrates, awakened morning and evening. His finger twitched. It took some effort to reach out and take Monica. "Good evening, Chun-Shan. Sorry for calling you so rashly. Because you didn't come last week to copy the internal and supplementary prescriptions and cannot use them continuously. So I have to give you a call. Last week, morning and evening, all eyes were on Zhaoxing's return to China. I was so busy I forgot and immediately felt very sorry. Sorry, Monica. I broke the appointment and the last consultation fee was also recorded. My question." Monica paused, then helplessly collapsed. "Chun-Sheng, that's not what I meant. Are you free these past couple of days? Could you try to find some time to come for a consultation? This stage of treatment is quite special and should not be interrupted." Chen-Wan, if your own condition doesn't improve well, but he refused to accept his friend's trust and didn't want to trouble the doctors. "Say it, if you don't bother me." She could go over now, but Chen-Wan was worried the other party would work too late. After several rides, they arrived at the Admiral's Market before 10 a.m. Monica poured him a glass of water. "How have you been lately?" On the surface, Chen-Wan was very cooperative. Just like in previous face-to-face consultations, describe her near mania and symptoms in detail. Monica suggested she perform hypnosis again. "Next, just stay relaxed. I will occasionally ask you questions. You can say anything under the influence of drugs. Morning and evening gradually led to sleepiness, while Monica took notes with a pen. What do you see now? I punctured their artery. Cut off a young dog, unwilling to eat their bones. Bullets at 6.8 per hour can be faster, working late at night. He didn't look over. Meanwhile, the true personality of the pathological one awakens. Language revealed beneath complete relaxation is chaotic, just some conceptual fragments of the psychological depth, and vocabulary with quick descriptions and authentic responses. So it was very disjointed. There is no logic at all. After about 20 minutes, Monica finished hypnosis. She stepped on that key point and drew a circle. The idiot lamp is bright, and Chun and Wan slowly open their eyes. Monica, aside from Zhuiji Xuan, the only person who knows about Chun Wan's relationship status. Today, this name reappears in the records. He asked, Mr. Chun, you just mentioned him, but you didn't tell me. He came back. Chun Wan smiled and said, yes, he's back. Monica nodded. You couldn't see Shiyu in her eyes. What do you think of his reappearance? It greatly affected the treatment plan we originally formulated. Although Chun Wan didn't care much about seeing a doctor, but he won't slack off on others' work. After careful consideration, Shinzhong's answer wasn't too much. From Monica's years of understanding of him, he was very aware of the anger of this name. Why shouldn't my life change much? Chen Wanju spoke very slowly. You let me record my usual emotions. For example, happiness and sadness, satisfaction and unwillingness. All of this is still mine. I give myself. I can control everything myself. Everything is up to me. So we can continue with the previous plan. No need to treat this as some new variable or new miracle. He said this calmly, but Monica felt even more uneasy. This further confirmed Chun Wan's vision of her own apocalypse, never seeking anything from outside. However, she did not refute Chun Wan's claims, just offer a tactful suggestion. Maybe it is. Chun Wan shook her head slowly and firmly. I'm sick not because of her, and I believe I need and can fully control my emotions. Please let me do this. Monica didn't insist further. I respect your wishes, but if possible, I hope you could take a break, at least for a week. I need to observe your concurrent state more carefully and comprehensively, and provide you with systematic and continuous physical therapy and training. Chun Wan's face turned blue. Sorry, doctor, I have a lot of job opportunities lately. If the pain doesn't last long, a week is insufficient. For 3 days, morning and evening still apologize, but the tone is firm. Not working recently, but you can find time later. Monica fell silent, then sighed for a moment. Then you must take your medicine on time. Coming for a regular follow-up. Chun Wan smiled as she recalled. She wasn't actively deceiving doctors, but rather that Xiang had a new project. In the midst of competition, Thursday night at 10 p.m., Chun Wan drove alone to Puli Casino. Even on a weekday, casinos are also packed with optimism. Guan is a young Ukrainian woman who took the college entrance exam. Chun Wan asked if there was any event at the hotel tonight. Previously, he had always taken the main staircase upstairs. The sightseeing stairs offer a panoramic view of the water city within the hotel's garden. How did you change it to a side staircase today? Guang said with a smile. Tonight, there really are VIPs taking advantage of it. He didn't say much else, and Chun Wan didn't ask any more questions. Instead, he reminded him about some habits for guests arriving late. That night, the guests in the morning and evening were pleasantly surprised. After a few games, the customer continued to be served, and Hao Zai Chun Wan felt a bit uncomfortable. After greeting the client, he went to the bathroom, and the project went much smoother than he had imagined. It seems, tonight, this deal can be finalized for the time being. At that moment, someone was heard making a phone call in the cubicle room, but the person hadn't been brought up, left but not returned. It's not that those who haven't seen the Ming Dragon are too cautious. Chun Wan's hand under the faucet stopped. From that person's call, Chun Wan roughly guessed that the person renting the third floor was someone from Ming Ming. Something was going on. Inside the Zaya Sheng car, there was clearly someone watching from a distance inside the wine cellar. Next time, Chun Wan won't believe it. She looked up. He wiped his hands clean and walked to the pavilion where the sound had come from. Use a mop to clamp the door handle bolt from the outside. He also took water from the children's wash basin and poured it over their heads from above. The people inside started cursing who the hell did this. Who's out opening the door for me? You're as if I accidentally got your feet. Chun Wan put down the bucket. Leaning against the door, he tapped a stick. Yan's face was expressionless, smoking while listening to him curse on the street. Waiting, when he got tired of listening, he would throw his cigarette but into the private room. The person was probably scalded and screamed strangely. Amid the deafening knocking on the door, Chun Wan went to wash her hands again. He carefully wiped each finger one by one and finally walked out of the bathroom. The curses from behind him filled the air. Before entering the private room, he adjusted his expression again. Facing customer benefits, we strive to. A refined gentleman was nowhere to be seen in the bathroom mirror. Fatigue and the re-election of the Music Merchants Association Council. Just these few days, several factions at Saigon Gate in the lower long border area of Jew Island were stirring restlessly. It seems Haisha really isn't too far from the city lately. Typhoon Signal Number 8 left the country as scheduled. Or is it the rare good weather? Zhuo Jishuan said over the phone. Did Shen Zongyan invite Zhao Xinge to go to a private estate to watch the match? Shen Zongyan told him personally, and he asked Chen if she wanted to go. I remember you have to go on a business trip to Ultimate Technique tomorrow. Are you in a hurry? After thinking for a moment, Chen said. He said he would go to the earliest class in Airport City the day after tomorrow. Zhuo Jishuan was still worried about the return trip. That estate is about a 4-hour drive from the airport. Can your body handle it? And I can't guarantee you'll actually meet anyone. Chen said it was enough to catch a glimpse, and it didn't matter if she didn't. Chen finally saw Zhao Xinge again, but only glanced at her from afar. Chen is not a young master, so she doesn't have much freedom, even if you have to be on call 24/7, staying by the young master's side. And might not actually see Zhao Xinge a few times. This time, in order to see him at the airport morning and evening after boarding the earliest flight, then drove alone for 4 hours to the estate. In the end, I heard that Zhao Sheng only saw half of it before leaving, meeting once in 10 times, even if it was that day's grand celebration. However, Chen was best at enduring hardship. Seize the opportunity. If not, live your time seriously. If there was even a little thing, he might stop at nothing. Seize at any cost. Chen had been worn down by a crucial contract for a long time. The Huang family kayaking team is seeking to hold an exhibition race at Xiangjia. He just didn't know if he would have time to see him when he arrived. Zhao Xinge's car, which was about to leave, happened to brush past him. The window in the parking space was half open. You could see that Zhao Xinge still wore that calm expression. Black MacBook kicked up a trail of dust. Getting off the bus, Chen and Wan were sprayed all over with dust. Still a step too late. Maybe he really was just unlucky, but he was not too disappointed in his heart and entered the mortal world. And in his peaceful heart, he ultimately lives in a world without Zhao Xinge. If you do, it's just extra foolishness. But he had to understand that not having one was the norm, and Zhao Xinge was indeed very busy. So busy that you don't have time to write down any unimportant things in the corners of life. At the non-stop airport, Zhao Xinge squinted his eyes, thinking he wouldn't scream. But she was woken up by a kid from the luxury store next door. The curly-haired little boy cried and begged his mother for him. Buy an expensive Shouchong model. Zhao Xinge spent about 10 minutes tugging at the mother and son in the hall. The children's cries were just too loud. He lifted his eyelids. His eyes were still unclear, and after watching for a while, I took another phone call and suddenly changed my schedule to work on a hot work trip. The business association meeting, when we'll talk about it then. If there's nothing else, I'll hang up first. I still need to catch up on sleep. After the call, you can still hear the noisy sounds of children. Zhao Xinge couldn't take it anymore, stood up and walked over. He directly took the expensive pistol model the boy wanted. Now the world finally became quiet. Secret Crush is a chaotic moment. Chen Wanquan relied on her own good mindset. Survive within his Secret Crush rule. Sometimes even friends don't know what he's thinking. As long as there was even the slightest chance to see Zhao Xinge. Chen Wan was determined to give her all in June. A business association meeting was still held. Chen Wan listened to Zhuo Jishuan's words. Ten Yuming said, this conference was more substantial than before. Zhao Xinge was likely to attend, so Chen Wan scanned the venue. He didn't see Zhao Xinge's position or the two people in front of the stage. It was placed in a rather remote spot far back. Zhuo Jishuan crossed his legs, holding his head and body with both hands. Later, Tan Yuming spread his back and lied about military intelligence. Chen Wan understood very well and didn't blame young Master Tan. He has rarely appeared in official events in recent years. No one could trace his whereabouts. The vice chairman of the chamber spoke somewhat standard Mandarin. Several preferential policies will be implemented in the band. Innovators are encouraged to seize opportunities. Go be the first person to grow crab. Chen Wan was very sensitive to picking up on a few key words. Quickly write it down in your notebook, planning to return after returning. Then study it carefully with your partner. Zhuo Jishuan glanced at the few words Chen Wan had written down, casually saying, you actually took notes. If you wait for this draft to be implemented, it's better to go to Shan Zongyan first. Zhuo Jishuan leaned close to his ear and lowered his voice slightly. The pre-mediator was that the Chamber of Commerce had no say. The Zhao family's territory. Chen Wan shook her head and said, no need for Zhuo Jishuan to worry himself sick. Don't be naive. Although preferential policies have to some extent promoted resource flow and fairness. But the real thing has long been in my head, after a while. To show some leftover scraps, why bother squeezing in the bottom to fight them? Chen Wan still shook her head and couldn't say more. Zhuo Zhishuan was amused by him. What are you doing? Sometimes Chanwan really didn't know what she was thinking. These things were just a matter of a few words with Tan Yuming and Shun Zhongyan. If you ask, who wouldn't help you? You've left all your resources in someone else's field. Chenwan, can you make some plans? Chenwan was good-natured. He smiled and said nothing. Let's quickly skim through. The notes are sure there is no mistake, but he is not carefree. Xian, don't worry about me. I know what I'm doing. Zhuo Zhishuan couldn't communicate with him. Chenwan looked easy to talk to. But the idea is that one ant-for-nothing people might meet each other. Let's really talk about fate. But it's even more about hard work. Opportunities always favor those who are prepared. 9 missed attempts, and on the 10th attempt, Chenwan was able to rush to the shop. And the 10th time was at the auction house for half a month. Chenwan was seated in a very dark corner, and at that moment, she walked a little farther away from him. You've been so busy lately, thinking you wouldn't come today. Chenwan replied calmly, saying she was free today and came to take a look. In fact, the reason he came today was because he had reliable news about Zhuo Zhishuan. Next week's antique auction will be held at Zhaoshinga. After greeting that person, Chenwan sat back down in her seat. He heard someone shouting nearby. Today, Zhao Sheng actually showed up too. Chenwan looked over from afar. Zhaoshinga was even more reserved than before. He loved watching Zhaoshinga so much that it was just a fleeting moment as he slipped past him. He caught Zhaoshinga's attention. The skin on the sofa's decisive face was hidden. Chenwan liked to observe Zhaoshinga. With just one look, he could see the skin at the corner of his eye. Zhaoshinga is very low-key. There's never a huge amount of stalking among the bodyguard columns. Today, he didn't even bring an assistant along, acting as the organizer. The prepared center seat, Chun and Wan, were seated in a very dark corner. From a distance, the other person crossed their long legs, leaning against the look of someone already looking down at side seat. It makes Chunwan associated with being careless. The lion that exhausts all beings, the colleague who grants a person rights. There must also be some kind of shackle being applied, illuminating the sound, separated by the unyielding mountains in the face of danger. That faint, barely noticeable meaning of the scroll is like the drifting West Valley. Fallen leaves are insignificant. No one spied or investigated. Only the birds that fly to this mountain every day, knowing that the high mountains and sunny days point to dawn and dusk. When that flying bird circulates this year without pause. The auction hadn't started yet. Guests gathered in groups, chatting with those around them. The voice was very low, but you could hear some in the morning and evening. He jumped from the financial tower. The pool at the 78th floor of Bajing Park has been dyed. Many people saw the police quickly clean up after coming to the station. And you can't even imagine going in without a machine. Mrs. Matt cried every day and even went to Ming Long Mansion to protest her innocence. I heard it wasn't because of that bad photo, but because Matt Kai-Fei was dishonest, playing tricks and going in circles, and even teaming up with the Hua family. Later, he became impatient with interviews, even more heartless than his old man, not to be provoked. At the same time, signing a charitable donation contract for disabled children. On one hand, he drives his wealthy enemies into bankruptcy and kills in a single thought. That person was like a voting net whose name could never be mentioned. Everyone understood without words. Meeting Mo Ru Shun, not far away. A little commotion recalled. The staff member checked Zhao Xing's table and interjected a bit. Everyone around fell silent for a moment. Lowering her head, the dress was undecided. But what Chenwan saw was Zhao Xinga. He calmly told the other person that it was nothing, his voice polite and gentle. Chenin thought, even if those people just tore it off. The gossiping criticism was heard by Zhao Xinga himself. He wouldn't get angry or upset. He's actually easier to talk to than many people. Although the presence was strong, but my mood remained calm. Gentle yet firm, majestic but not fierce. Achieve merit and bring peace. In Chenwan's eyes, Zhao Xinga was perfect, but actually, he himself is quite bad. For example, provocation on the street. As soon as the auction for Chenwan ended, Chenwan drove home. Just as we were about to descend the winding mountain road. It was driving fine. Suddenly, a Rolls-Royce appearing in the left-wing lane was struck by its tail. Mud and dirt. At first, Chenwan ignored her. He has always been law-abiding on the roads. A gentleman, a citizen, and a humble and courteous gentleman, just opening the scraper and brush. But after being blocked twice in a row, he stepped on the gas. He's got a good temper, but not easy to bully. When the other side overtook and drove alongside, not only did they fail to pull away, instead, it sticks even tighter. Between the 4 pieces of water splash, the rearview mirrors of both cars even collided and rubbed against each other for a moment. I could almost see Mars, but only for 1 second. The opponent's driving skills are superb. It did not cause any substantial harm, besides causing immense pressure and psychological pressure on drivers. This is blatant demonstration and provocation. After a complete overtaking, the Rolls-Royce, relying on its tall chassis, threw a kiss on the puddle. The BYD blocking glass hits you with a splash of water, giving you a steady feeling. It was as if he himself had been doused with a bucket of water. Even his best temper got angry. He gripped the steering wheel tightly, stepped on the gas, and chased after him. The summer sky was dark late, and Luoxia had not yet settled down. You can roughly see the last digit of the Rolls-Royce license plate in your eyes. But even if it's just a string of ordinary numbers, it also reveals a kind of arrogance. The other side was driving at varying speeds, like a cat fighting mice on an empty avenue. The orange setting sun hangs atop the mountain. Two carriages, one in front and one behind. They chased each other. Chun Wan-chun kicked her. Police officers usually only use BYD vehicles to arrest during work hours. The first time he was driven at the supercar's life or death speed. This guy is truly a madman. At that moment, Zhuo Zhishuan called. He said that in a few days, he would get lost to the auspicious opening day of that hotel. Please be sure to arrive at the venue morning and evening. He Chenwan grabbed the steering wheel with one hand and pulled off her Bluetooth earphones. Speaking of pressing hard, Dun begged for several months. Only then would the old man step forward. Your words are about to be worn out, so your red envelope needs to be sincere. Of course, Chunwan has always been generous with her friends. Then hire a pair of martial artists for you, from the eastern route to the crown prince's rebellious message. Zhuo Zhishuan didn't mind being teased and laughed heartily. After a second of silence, Zhuo Zhishuan said, Zhao Xinge will be coming too. Are you free that day? Come help me sooner. Chenwan chuckled. Be my boss. This time, I made a big splash right in front of my father. Those who don't hold them are floating and shining. Just wait for Zhuo Yujian and Zhuo Shengyan to give me a stab from behind. I don't trust others. And I asked the master to do a fortune-telling. On the opening day, you need to find someone with a 5 waters element fate as witness. Dragon knew, in the past, the divine spirit was prosperous under the moon. Isn't that you? Chunwan expressed understanding. Ask him what point it is. Zhuo Zhishuan said with a grin. Awan is well together. Just come by at 3 o'clock. The call ended. Chunwan was still pondering. That Rolls-Royce ran through his mind. The car body was roofless, making sure it wasn't within the sea markets area. Having seen this car at any important occasion, he couldn't figure out who was inside. But Zhao Xinge, who stole his car, was in a pretty good mood. As soon as he returned to the old house, then someone called out to him. Although Zhao Xinge was young, but his rank was relatively high, so even the book by Pang Zhili Benwu called out to him. The children who had been playing around, when they saw him again, you should respectfully call him Big Brother. Zhao Xinge's face showed a steady expression. Honestly, it's really frustrating inside. He wished he could make these little radish heads. One by one, the film and television projects thrown outside. The old house residents had already gathered around the Chichong circular table. Zhao Maozhong, who was fully seated, was already seated at the main seat and was ready to meet the crowd. But Zhao Xinge didn't arrive. No one made a move. After Zhao Xinge sat down, the dinner officially began, as there was no intense competition for interest. Zheng Weidao also had a kind of false warmth, and Zhao Residence's cuisine had lasted for so many years. Still not to Zhao Xinge's taste. A certain person, he lifted the Tang Zhongque and glanced at him. He sighed inwardly. Chunwan thought of that person again. He also had this expression, completely different from the ones he had seen before. Zhao Xinge. The first time I lost focus on the morning and evening was at a dinner gathering in the old house. It wasn't until someone called him several times that he snapped back to reality. Among them, a woman from one household inquired, I saw you haven't frozen your model for ages. Is the dish not to your taste? This false attentive care. Zhao Xinge had seen too much and brushed it off, saying he wasn't very hungry. You eat. Speaking of which, the children at home are all quite grown now. Isn't it time to consider major life events? Our aunt always says, work comes first, and he is not in a hurry. But you did push me in. Let's not interfere too much. Several female circles were busy with the weddings of the young members of the family. But no one dared to question Zhao Xinge. He really found it boring to listen to. So he got up and left, just in time to receive a text message from Shenzong. They said that in a few days, Xian's new hotel would open, and they wanted to go support together. Zhao Xinge replied to his account, and then went to Zhuo Zhishuan's new hotel. Inside the hall, the manager was holding the menu to ask General Manager Chen for advice. This is a seating area and a slight rearrangement of the drink menu according to your request. Take a look at what needs further adjustments. Chenwan pointed at the menu. Remove all the crabs from this table. Replace it with dry buns. Zhuo Zhishuan watched from the side, completely acting like a hands-off boss. Awan, Luckily, I have you helping me. The more I look, the more I feel that some people are really foolish. Nothing can be seen. Chen was confused. What does he mean by reading? You don't need to be too moved. 5 points for me. 1 cent is enough. Zhuo Zhishuan patted his chest. When I turn my life around and take charge, you definitely won't be left out. But with my current authority, the top-tier Coast Guard room gives you a permanent, exclusive room. Suddenly, he leaned close to Chenwan's ear. Whisper, blind man said. Chenwan turned her head to look outside. Just then, he saw Zhao Xinge walking toward him. Tan Yuming, following behind, noticed that the surroundings were decorated quite nicely. He walked over to Zhuo Zhishuan, held his hand. Boss Shua, wishing you a grand opening. Zhao Xinge also said calmly. Congratulations to Zhuo Zhishuan for laughing heartily. Thank you all for your support of the banquet. It's about to start. Let's go inside. At this moment, Chenwan felt a bit cramped. He quickly called out to Zhuo Zhishuan. Then I'll go first. Zhuo Zhishuan knew what he wanted to say and grabbed him. He wants to run away again, but I've already arranged everything. You must sit at the same table with us today, Chenwan. There was still some way to go. Zhuo Zhishuan immediately climbed onto his shoulder. Push him inside, don't worry. This table is all on the same side. Let's go. Let's get into the story too. Just looking at a table full of dishes. Some people couldn't stop praising it. The dishes are really good. Young Master Zhuo must have taken a big leave to hire the chef. Inviting him was a hefty, some brought in from abroad. Just taste the flavor. Chenwan's attention was entirely on Zhao Xinge. He could tell that Zhao Xinge wasn't enjoying his meal today. He barely moved his chopsticks, barely made any wine. Today, the menu on the table was all personally prepared by him. Could it be that the previous few times he had shown preferences was just him? Coincidentally, Jiang Ying, who happened to be sitting next to Chenwan, said, I heard from the elders at home. Mrs. Mai still goes to the entrance of Longmin building every day to protest her innocence. What exactly happened? This topic feels like some kind of taboo. Everyone looked at Jiang Ying, completely overlooking him. Zhuo Zhishuan said, After all, Lu Mei returned as a great painter. Only you dare ask that. Tan Yuming explained. Mrs. Mai is really brainless. She posted photos of her husband at nightclubs playing with young demons. Even if you slap in front of him, it won't work. Before Mai Jiahui jumped off a building, he even tricked him. He transferred all the debts onto his daughter, who hadn't graduated yet, to be spilled in. The other person also felt a bit helpless. He said to Zhao Xinge, now the rumors have become even more intense. The latest version is that before Maka FAI jumps down, the last call is a call. Right now, everyone is chilling, afraid of receiving your death call. Zhao Xinge also knew that this matter had caused a huge stir in the city lately. Calmly explaining to everyone, I didn't fight. When the deadline expires, I, as the creditor, choose to apply for enforcement. The debtor, Maka FAI, chose to go bankrupt permanently. We simply chose different approaches to the travel contract. As he spoke, he wiped the water clean with a hot napkin. Listening to his analysis, everyone fell silent for a moment. Changing the topic, Chenwan's attention was still on Zhao Xinge. Seeing that he had finished a bowl of seafood porridge in front of him, he didn't look like he had no appetite. He didn't know exactly where the problem was. When the banquet disperses, everyone came over to have a drink with Zhao Xinge. After all, meeting him unexpectedly, it will only get harder in the future. Zhuo Zhishuan called Chenwan to leave. We'll join the fun too. Chenwan hesitated a little. If you don't go this time, maybe next time you won't get such an opportunity. So he made up his mind and poured a rather ordinary white liquor into his own glass. Unfortunately, just as it was his turn, Zhao Xinge raised his hand to look at Ingwanda. It's getting late, so let's stop here for today. I still have things to do later. And renewed it another day. After Chen Wanxin emptied her mind to him, his hands were already about to be raised 9 times. Fortunately, no one noticed his animal. He didn't care about losing face anymore. I just feel a bit regretful. And all of them had been dealt with. Zhao Xinge noticed for the first time that Chenwan, or because of his beautiful face that makes people commit crimes. That thought-provoking expression. What was he thinking at the time? Originally, he was planning to relax at Tan Yoming's club, but he found that the table was filled with his favorite tropical fruits. This left him a bit puzzled. Why was there no fruit platter when I came last time? Are you upgrading your service here? Tan Yoming's heart was satisfied with his words. How could it be that Chenwan was the one behind all this? His temperament. Zhao Xinge looked up at the voice outside the door. Combining this with what he had just heard passing by, indeed, Xinxing Chenwan accepted it. The tea room that had just been delivered as he had instructed. He personally brought it before Tan Yuming, who, he smiled at Awan, you can make tea too. Chenwan was modest, with nothing to do in her leisure. Zhao Xinge, playfully imitating her, quietly observed Chenwan's every move. His hands were very pale. Between the index and middle fingers of the right hand, There's a very small finger that opens and unfolds with the fingers. The gesture also has a face that makes you want to commit a crime. She seemed gentle and kind, and Qianwan could remember everyone's hobbies. He placed the silver needle cup in front of Tan Yuming. Tan Yuming was very surprised. Last time, Zhu Zhishuan said, "I like Tiguanyin," so I casually added, "I didn't expect you to remember it." Then, Qianwan placed the De Hong Pao in front of Zhao Xinge. Zhao Xinge picked up the cup of tea and looked closely. It was De Hong Pao, and it's De Hong Pao, which has been rinsed in water twice. This was clearly a habit he only changed after returning to China. How could he know that once or twice was just a coincidence, but every time it was like this is by no means accidental. If someone can't see their intentions, it's tantamount to a threat. He had seen lip honey nearby. I've seen double-faced three blades. Having seen too many jade gatherings and jade zither reinforcements, the yinha and lighters, it was just a small test, but enough to make Zhao Xinge wary. If you don't climb the slope, just going in the morning and evening is not without harm. He thought himself a god, unaware of the spirits that ghosts were unaware of. Zhao Xinge is also acceptable, but by a twist of fate, he quietly refuses to accept him. Morning and evening, silent, like a hazy mist over a phantom, drifting over from time to time. But in an instant, it was blown away by the wind. Zhao Xinge disliked being obscure. I don't like the position. Dislikes uncertainty. He dislikes others playing tricks on him. He dislikes people playing mind games with him. So on the day of the auction, BYD suffered a hopeless disaster. Looking at the faint smile in his eyes, is that convenient? Someone went to Zhao Xinge's side to see off Nanhai, but because she saw the small mole on his arm, remembering Qianwan, Mifeng immediately frowned. After dropping off Zhao Xinge at her destination, Qianwan hurriedly left. Zhao Xinge waited until his taillight disappeared before entering through another door. A shareholder of Angsher had already been waiting at the door. Zhao Xinge went straight up to the 78th floor from the private elevator and pushed the door open. The luxurious interior decoration is immediately present. On the carved sofa, Xiaoyao Zongjing held someone close, his fingertips pinching his pulse in his tone. With a lingering sense of unfinished Changran, I still saw him enter my heart. Xiao Yaozong looked up and smiled. Put down the microphone. "Hey, Mr. Zhao is here." Zhao Xinge walked through the carved wooden door. Xiao Yaozong immediately stood up to greet him, a familiar smile on his face. "Mr. Zhao, pleasure to meet you. Come, have a seat first." Xiao Yaozong looked behind him. No one was seen again. Zhao Xinge sat down as soon as he sat down, so he turned his gaze to the boy standing nearby. He gestured for him to sit next to Zhao Xinge. The boy obediently headed to Zhao Xinge. Those nearby gathered and called out politely, "Mr. Zhao." Xiao Yaozong saw that Zhao Xinge did not refuse, so he spoke. "This child is clean and obedient. I carefully selected and specially brought them." And Zhao Xinge cooperated by taking a look. The boy beside him was bowing and obedient. One hand rested on the back of the sofa. Relaxed posture. Mr. Xiao is thoughtful. He lifted his chin again. "Say to the boy, pour a glass of wine." The boy lowered his eyes and obediently responded. Today he wore a white shirt, rolled up his sleeves as he stood up. The brown paper on his wrist was just exposed. Zhao Xinge's brow twitched imperceptibly, and dust instantly flashed through his mind. Late, the small piece of paper between the index and middle fingers of my right hand. Out of sight, out of mind, then his tone was calm. "Lower your sleeves." The boy didn't understand so, but still obediently behaved Zhao. He hurriedly toxed the rolled-up sleeve of his shoe screen to poison Zhongwu. He felt that the other party wasn't sincere at all. He didn't smile. Mr. Zhao really knows how to be compassionate. The air conditioning in the room was indeed running quite strong. Let's get to the main topic. Previously, I asked, how has Mr. Zhao considered this? Zhao Xinge crossed his legs and handed him Tai Chi, showing interest. Let's take a look at the goods first. Alright, Xiao Yao sect is straightforward. Raising his hand to signal, the deputy lifted the box. A heavy black box was carried into the hall. He placed it firmly in front of Zhao Xinge. With a loud click, the lock was opened. The buttons revealed the neatly arranged various firearms inside. "Mr. Zhao, you have won Zhao Xinge's beauty," and I glanced down at you. He chuckled lightly, thinking, "White Crane candy supplies aren't that bad, right?" Xiao Yaozong spoke sincerely. Mr. Zhao is strict, so don't blame him for being too cautious and reckless. Now Matt Ka, FAI, is dead. The people in charge were determined to deal with White Crane candy. I painfully gave up the overseas route. You should always confirm whether the other party is truly a quality product before you can feel at ease. Zhao Xinge looked up, his feminine aura calm. Did Mr. Xiao come out? Of course. Xiao Yaozong smiled and waved his hand. Have the subordinate open another box. This box is the real deal. He steps forward, you can verify. But let me be clear, I give you the fire at my hands. And all the evidence of Bai Hetang's crimes. You help me clear my name, and set sail smoothly. Zhao Xinj ran his fingertips over the gun and spoke slowly. The trigger was a bit light, and the mechanism. The position of the hammer foot iron was a bit uneven, and Xiao Yaozong just smiled dismissively. There's no need to worry too much about this. This batch of people who are either heading to Italy are used to walking. It's not easy to get caught up in a tiger. This batch only has 3 ship's cargo holds. If the other party brings it up later, the rest can be reassembled. There was still time for Zhao Sheng to give a gentle bow of gratitude. How much was left? Xiao Yao Sek held out 8 fingers and 8 passes of Zhao Xinga, looking at the box being carried away. His tone was calm. How many times could he go first? Xiao Yao Sek's face immediately broke into a smile. Mr. Zhao was straightforward. Suddenly, the topic shifted. But Mr. Xiao, have you forgotten something? Xiao Yaozong's smile froze. Then he pretended to be startled. You mean those pieces of evidence, right? Bai Hetong had too many things on his body. It also takes time to organize everything. Look at Zhao Xinga raising his cup. My fingertips gently rubbed a cup of salt, and the rain cooled down. So, when should the evidence be submitted, before or after the 2 phases? When should we go all out of the port? Someone sent the boy to Zhao Xinga's side, dragging him into the water. But he didn't care about anything at all. According to the rules, when should the evidence be handed over? When will you go all out of the port? Xiao Yao Sect had already realized the situation and had no choice but to agree. So I had someone organize some before heading out to port. Send a secret message to your company. Zhao Xinga took the opportunity to ask how much a portion is. Xiao Yaozong leaned forward to the front. He spread his palm upward, his tone carrying a hint of deliberate honesty. 5 to 68% have no account for so many years. Even after displaying, some doubts and omissions are inevitable. Zhao Xinga was not troubled. He made it clear that he could obtain it. Next, let's talk about the issue of shares. Xiao Yaozong was well prepared. With a wave of his finger, someone stepped forward and handed over a document. Peace of mind agreement. I've already treated you well. I'll give you all my shares. I just want to get out of here as soon as possible and go out to sea as soon as possible. He pushed the equity transfer agreement to the center of the coffee table, and Zhao Xinga took the documents. I casually flipped through it, but after just a few glances, his expression grew serious. He threw the documents onto the table with a smack. A sound rang out. Stillness is neither too strong nor too small. He remained calm behind dark curtains, staring at the other person. Mr. Xiao, if you sell defective shares, I will launch the gold bill. Xiao Yaozong wore a collar all over his body. He was confident Zhao Xinga hadn't paid attention to the transfer just now. But the other party was immediately certain of the flaws in his shares. Zhao Xinga's face showed no extra emotion. I don't just make a profit in business. I build a system. Emphasize long-term mechanisms. Once and for all. I believe Mr. Xiao also understands this principle. Xiao Yaozong dared not do so in front of the original authors of the bill. After completing the rare commodity valuation, before you deliver a new agreement to him, Zhao Xinga seemed fairly satisfied. He agreed to the negotiation with Sheng Hou. Once the dust settled, Xiao Yaozong's face was full of smiles. They kept saying this and said it was a pleasant collaboration. He then invited Zhao Xinga to watch a performance he had booked together, saying he personally picked them all was top tier, but that's a mistake. Zhao Xinga only replied calmly, maybe another day, his tone calm but open to negotiation. Xiao Yaozong saw that Zhao Xinga remained unmoved, maintaining a steady posture. He encouraged him. Mr. Zhao simply didn't care for him. Still, my heart belongs to someone else. If the heart is attached to something, that means Xiao was offended. He hoped to forgive Zhao Xinga, his expression dismissive, thinking the other party was somewhat ridiculous. And if I don't mind his proud and restrained attitude of hitting Mr. Xiao, I can't help but think about it. He put down his wine glass, stood up, and walked calmly toward the door. Mr. Xiao, if there's nothing else, I'll take my leave now. Let's chat another day. All right, Mr. Zhao, take care. Xiao Yaozong stood in place, maintaining his last bit of polite attack. The moment I watched him leave and the door closed, the smile on Xiao Yao Sek's face instantly collapsed. He felt as if all his strength had been drained, and he weakly held his forehead. A thin layer of sweat appeared on his forehead and feet, while the young man beside him was strong. Hurriedly leaning in to the major, "What is the golden bill?" Xiao Yao Sek took a deep breath. He took a breath and calmed his mind. With a complicated gaze, he looked at the equity transfer agreement still lying on the table. He spoke slowly. Back then, Zhao Xinga was in an antitrust court abroad, single-handedly accusing Wall Street of major wrongdoing, proposing the Golden 12. The media said he was just a foundation stone, but he actually won that lawsuit. Belgian financial journalists named those 12 articles the Golden Bill. Speaking of which, he reached out to take the agreement, his voice carrying a memory of Zhao Xinga. The law imposes very severe penalties for malicious sale of defective shares. Later, it was unanimously approved by the Haisher Commercial and Economic Association to introduce it to the market. Looking at the terms in the agreement, he gave a bitter smile. President Zhao really lives up to his reputation. The elevator doors at the end of the corridor, quietly supporting the steady sound of footsteps, tapping out the rhythm in the corridor. Just then, the phone in his pocket suddenly rang. Zhao Xinga stopped walking. He raised his hand and pressed the phone to his ear. His tone was calm and unruffled. "Hello." A response came from the other end of the line. He lowered his gaze to watch the elevator doors slowly closing. The voice was cold and fierce, and the discussion was over. "I agreed to cooperate. According to the previously mentioned batch of prohibited items, and the operations behind them now belong to your customs documents. But the land at Bailuan will belong to me." The elevator doors slowly opened. He stepped aside in tone firmly, and with a sense of deterrence, they could reduce the private accounts of Yaozong. "I will hand them over to customs and inspection. The same fingertips fall on a layer of the case and wait for the action to end. Minglong Group will bid for the land through a bid." He had one hand in his pocket, silently waiting for the call. That resonant response. There was little emotion on his face, and in the end, he just uttered 2 words in a calm manner. "All right, looking forward to working with you." It was all because Prince Chen kindly helped Zhao Xinga join as a ride-hailing person. He was called to the police station to follow the procedures at the station. He screened everyone who showed up that night. Finally, he called Zhao Xinga, aiming to wipe out the gang forces in one fell swoop. Uprooted completely, we joined forces with the CSRC to investigate Xiao Yaozong in the investigation. Goods and gold virtual currency stored by Ingqi Private Bank. Currently, they are investigating everyone who appeared at Ingqi that night. The surveillance footage from that night. You got a BYD car. Not sure if this car is yours. If so, then no investigation is required. It also reduces the workload for the interior. Zhao Xinga directly denied it, saying she was just a housewife carpooling with the crowd. You should investigate what needs to be investigated properly. Don't cut corners. Who knew what kind of mysterious or insidious call would be uncovered? There was a moment of silence on the other end. Just one sentence. "Understood. I'll hang up here and get in touch later." Zhao Xinga put down his phone, a trace of coldness flashing in his eyes. Chen Wan, right? Careless people like Tan Yuming and Zhuo Zhishuan were one thing. Never met anyone who could make even Shun Zhongnian dizzy and turn his head around. Then let the police station thoroughly investigate Chun Cable's summons to the interrogation room. At the negotiating table, he was negotiating with a new Chinese national about transferring his latest patent, Chun Cable. They struggled to hold their position. "Arthur, can you ask what this is?" "You'll find out when you get to the police station." The other person's tone didn't soften at all. "This is currently the most important project for Kishan. Chenwan put a lot of effort into this, staying up many nights, attended many social events that I didn't want to attend. It took a lot of connections to get this opportunity." His heart was proud and fierce. Why at such a critical moment? Investors looked at him with their eyes, full of shock and doubt. "Mr. Chun, what's going on?" The voice interrupted Chun Wan's thoughts. He looked up and apologized upon hearing the voice. "I am not yet clear on the specifics, but I believe there must be some misunderstanding. I'm sorry. The contract is for another day. Please rest assured. I will give you an explanation as soon as possible." Although he was unprotected everywhere, he remained calm. He still saw distrust and withdrawal from investors' expressions. Chen Wan followed the officer out of the meeting room, and suddenly her phone vibrated. He stopped walking. He pointed at his phone and looked up at the officer beside him. "Seer, can I take a call?" The officer was silent for a moment, then nodded. "Try to be as fast as possible." "All right, thank you." He turned sideways and pressed the answer button, his voice tinged with a hint of fatigue. On the other end of the line, Zhuo Zhishuan's familiar tone came through. With a bit of gossip, "Did I want to have time to go out for tea?" Chen Wan closed her eyes. His tone was helpless. "Not now. I need to go to the police station." "What happened?" His voice instantly tensed up, full of anxiety. "I also don't know. I'm negotiating important projects with investors." Suddenly, he received his summons. Just as Zhuo Zhishuan was about to bring up his family connections, Chen Wan stopped him. He knew that Zhuo Zhishuan actually had little say in the family and was unwilling to be friends. "Seek help from elders with whom you have been at odds for years. In short, let's first take a look at the situation. Anyway, I'm pure and can handle tea, so as long as you don't win Zhong, that's enough." Chen Wan sat on a chair in the interrogation room, maintaining a very serious attitude from beginning to end. After all, he was someone who fought his way out of Xilantian. This kind of scene was nothing. The police only followed the procedure and asked a few questions. Chen Wan was originally innocent, able to withstand tea. Only when the police mentioned the passenger compartment in his car, his tone suddenly turned serious. Chen better not play tricks with the police. This is a criminal summons. Every word you say will be recorded. Becoming a fake duke is punishable by law. "Arthur, I take responsibility for every word I say. Chen met the other's gaze. Her back was straight and straight, without a hint of evasion. The tip of the pen fell onto the paper. The final step. The officer gently placed the pen on the table. The voice finally softened. All right, Mr. Chen, you may leave. Chen Weining was taken to the police station for a thorough investigation after several twists and turns. He missed several gatherings of the young gentlemen. Tan Yuming couldn't help but ask a few more questions. Zhuo Zhishuan felt somewhat indignant. It's all just useless people at the police station. Inexplicably chaotic. He was taken for questioning, but nothing was found. He ended up wasting his whole body and soul. And as he spoke, he started adding fuel to the fire. Add vinegar. The key point was that when Awan was taken away, they were discussing a hard-won project. How much did he contribute to this project? This caused delays and had him running around for projects. Unable to manage the situation at all. He felt haggard inside, his complexion looking grim. Tan Yuming slapped the table on the atmosphere in the atmosphere. Morning and evening are both good. It's just that people are too honest. He didn't know how to rely on power at all. 7 people. Zhuo Zhishuan seemed to have found a kindred spirit, exclaiming that this was exactly the case. Out of the corner of his eye, he occasionally glanced at the seat of honor, although he did not know whether the culprit or the culprit was being obstructed by them at this moment. I don't even know what happened that day, but he simply wanted to see what the other party had heard. Will the name have a bit of reaction and fluctuation? Zhao Shenj, as always, was not crucial, turning his teacup to cheat and pass the exam. In fact, Zhuo Zhishuan has always felt that Zhao Shenj's true nature is very real. Ignoring his friendly demeanor was merely an expression of years of cultivation and refinement, bringing the alms and mercy of those in power, rather than genuine empathy. But Chen Wan insisted that the other party was an honest and kind person. Zhuo Zhishuan was speechless. Zhao Shenj's expression was calm. Yes, I'm not very interested in Chen Wan either. He felt a bit bored tonight, and the food wasn't very good. The room is also a bit stuffy. The air circulation is not very good. The topic of morning and evening hasn't passed yet, because Jiang Ying and Shen Wan had no other people to ask why he was so stubborn. Actually, if you just tell them, it's just a phone call. Zhuo Zhishuan was also helpless. He least wanted to trouble others. Tan Yuming said he had to be serious and serious. Zhuo Zhishuan actively responded to Chen Wan's quirk. Jiang Ying also said he could help sort out the procedures at the police station, which should be followed. But there's no need to make things so difficult. He hadn't met Chen Wan much, but I have a good impression of the other party. Zhao Shenga thought to himself, could it be that useless? The officer didn't say that. Just a few days ago, he was playing with a model pistol he bought at the airport. While listening to the officer's report, during the interrogation, we mentioned the passenger compartment in his car. He used clever words to get Zhao Xing out. We believe he defends your actions, which actually confirms that he is not involved in the matter. Unexpected, yet reasonable. Chen Wan and her peers confirmed there was nothing wrong, and showed some traits he didn't want to admit, like intelligence. For example, oral words, such as reliability. But he still dislikes uncertainty, doesn't like taking shortcuts. I don't like to be clever on my own. He hadn't said much all night, until the dinner was about to end. He mentioned that the land in Bailawan has been officially signed. How about I invite everyone to go out to sea to celebrate? Such generous and generous demeanor. Tan Yuming was in high spirits. Zhao Shenga glanced over and was discussing with Tan Yuming. What kind of show will Zhuo Zhishuan perform then? Let's open Golden Sword number 17. After setting sail, it was left vacant for a long time. The Jinjian is a major model of the oil tanker series manufactured under Minglong. 17 configuration. All Asia only has one delivery. Only guests of very high status. Or only for a celebration of great significance will they set sail. Han Yoming's expression was filled with excitement. Equator said, spending money, the Golden Sword is way too big. We're the only ones who are close. Once inside, we can't find a way north. Zhao Shenga said, then you demons. It was just right to make an impact on Ningguangjian Wharf. Sure enough, Zhuo Zhishuan immediately said, then I should call her Awan. Zhao Shenga said nothing. Shen Zongyan put down his wine and glanced at Zhao Shenga. When Zhuo Zhishuan notified Shen want to go out to sea, he was still surprised. Zhuo Zhishuan asked him, you should be free that night. Shen Wan directly asked the key point. Whose scheme was this? Zhuo Zhishuan had already anticipated this. He knew Chen Wan would definitely ask him for too many details. Chen Wan's principles, the usual gatherings. Awan almost strictly followed a rule. Tan Yuming or Shen Zongyan might attend a gathering under the pretense of promotion. He would never come, so he said without a trace, his face turning red with stars. The fire is Tan Yuming's desire to leave the bay. He sought out Zhao Shenga and borrowed the boatman. It was also Tan Yuming who called out to Chen Wan, who reached out while holding the cup, and her lips were moved. His eyes were all burning with emotion, and he blew on the clouds and took a sip of warm coffee. All right, I went to Zhuozhishuan under the guise of Tan, and also openly planned to go out to sea under the pretense. Tricked Chun Wan into going to Zhao Xingga's pirate ship because she hadn't shown her face for a while. So he called over quite a few people. When Zhuozhishuan went to the bathroom, he happened to run into Tan Yuming, so he explained the situation at Chunwan police station. It's not that he doesn't want to come during this time. Unable to manage everything, this voyage brought many new faces. Some of them don't recognize Awan, and their hopes are clueless. He can help make a bridge, build a connection. At worst, she couldn't let Awan be looked down on and bullied. Tan Yuming said, of course, Chinwan was also his friend, and Zhuozhishuan got it. His words put his mind at ease, and his expression relaxed. No borders on the mouth, no touch. Silly Yu has become popular, and Awan has been really busy lately. I didn't even have time to sleep, but I told her, you invited everyone to go out to sea, and she immediately agreed, and asked if she needed help. Tan Yuming felt quite touched by this. He thought Chun Wan was a close confidant. The group all agreed, and he went out to have fun. The mouth injury is pretty fast, but when asked if he wanted help, none of them said anything. Even Shin Zongnian had been busy lately, and had no time to pay attention to him. The two of them chatted back and forth, quite happy, when Shin's voice came from behind. Feeling awkward to borrow a bit, Zhuozhishuan turned around and was stunned. He was sure that Li Jian just now was empty. Otherwise, he wouldn't have told Tan Yong. But Liao didn't even notice when people joined in. He secretly felt relieved in his heart. Luckily, it wasn't anyone else, otherwise what he'd just said. Zhao Xingga turned on the faucet to wash his hands, then wiped them with tissues. When I looked up, Tan Yuming glanced at Zhuozhishuan in the mirror, then raised his hand and placed his hand on his shoulder. I ask you in the West, crossing the entire sea market, dare to call yourself that. Shinda Xiao's also referred to the sun. Zhao Xingga pushed his hand aside, lazily said, I've heard everything. The awkwardness of being caught chatting earlier was still lingering. Zhuozhishuan cleared his throat lightly. Pointing upward, I went up to see Awan. I'm with you. Tan Yuming immediately followed along. Awan hadn't shown up in a long time, so this time she could help him relax. Zhao Xingga stood where he was. My gaze is heavy and heavy as I sail afar. 2 days and 1 night. The captain chose a route with great scenery, setting sail from Baibesha Hill, passing through a sea of coral. In the height of summer, the sea water is a deep blue and clear. At dusk, the setting sun pours into the sea. The morning bay leans against the railing, chatting gently with others. Someone asked about the opening hours of the outdoor pool. He replied softly, soon to reach international waters. Once the route entered international waters, one could watch Chun Wan calmly maneuver. Tan Yuming encouraged him. Aren't you overthinking it? Our Awan is still very popular. Someone raised their hand to invite him. The travel period is hot and descending. Mr. Chun, would you like to have a drink? Not far away. Zhao Xingga quietly watched the silence. He silently judged in his heart. This man knows his limits, dares to confront others, and handles things perfectly. A little more flattery, a little less is not enough to wake up. This person is no ordinary person. The atmosphere deep inside the VIP casino on the cruise ship is completely different. The chips stacked on the table were clearly defined, and his well-defined hand gently swept over the tabletop. With a crisp wrap-up at the end of the game, Higuan's announcement began. When Mr. Zhao came down to greet him, those around him sighed softly. This time, Zhao shone one again. Tan Yuming, who had suffered consecutive defeats, played the piano with a hint of defiance. Why is it you again? You didn't cheat or something? Zhao Xingga sat upright on a rosewood seat and chair. He lowered his gaze and replied calmly. This is the high seas where winners and losers judge their own skills. Zhuozhishuan called, and Qin Zhaoding teased that he usually traded stocks and was best at scheming and positioning. Now, Shizuka has been losing repeatedly. Qin Zhao stopped inside. Zhao Xinghakai and Zhuozhishuan finally couldn't hold on. With a bitter face, he raised his hand and wailed in despair. I want to request a different dealer. The noise is simple and honest, a clear call calls, suddenly piercing through the crowd. Awan and Chun Wan dressed cleanly. White shirt, slowly stepping into this surging undercurrent. Her gentle features quietly fade away from the bustle.